Man, I would love to be the kind of actor who comes in for like the DJ
You
Khaled
want to be
of
a
actors.
DJ Khaled?
Yeah,
You want to be a beloved character actor?
yeah, yeah. Because I don't think there's many actors out there who they just come in for like
Oh,
little
they
bits.
they do
but
the same thing.
Yeah.
So you want to be Ray J Johnson?
Oh fuck! I really do.
I mean, who amongst us doesn't want to be Ray J Johnson?
Oh yes,
You can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay.
yes. But I
Or
don't.
You can call me Ray J.
Yeah, but
Or you can call me Junie.
Okay,
Or you can call me Sonny. Or you can call me. That's all I can
Jonathan.
remember. But you doesn't have to call me Johnson.
Right. Was it on this podcast where we looked up why is it funny, and there was a legitimate answer for it, and everyone just underneath that was, it's just fucking funny, man. Like, what the hell?
It shouldn't be.
But it is.
But there's something oddly compelling about it.
There really is.
There's also something oddly compelling about JoJo's World.
That's
Hello.
us. Hello. How are you?
I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
Nick Valentine, the other one of the co-hosts.
I'm sorry, did you ask who are you?
Well, not to you. I made eye contact with you, but I'm actually talking to
You
no
asked
one
me
in
with your
particular.
eyes.
Yeah. And you know who else's eyes we're going to be looking at today?
Oh, today on our JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast, JoJo's World, where today we're talking about episodes 13 and 14 of Legend of Galactic Heroes.
A flawless anime thus far. Okay, maybe not flawless.
I wouldn't say it's without flaw, but it's really good.
It's so... Maybe the flaws are what makes it so compelling.
Yeah, the little imperfections are what make the rest of it really shine. And you know, there's no mistakes in creativity. There's just there's just little wrinkles of texture.
Yeah, it's like when you're watching the anime, you're just thinking about, like, dying stars.
Yeah, it's like the especially overwrought analogy voiced by one of the characters in these two episodes that because of fate, when one star dies, others in the night sky will shine ever the brighter. When there's one episode that kind of sucks, it kind of raises your esteem of all the other ones.
Hey, you know who else kind of raises my esteem?
Who?
Our Patreon supporters. Man, one of these days I might actually just be like, you know what? Everyone that isn't us is human filth, but not our Patreon supporters. They're okay. And you know who else is okay?
I'm sure you've said that before.
What? That everyone's human filth except our Patreon
Yeah.
supporters? Well, I mean, you know, it's objective fact.
I can't be expected to keep track of the things that I say on the podcast.
Listen,
that's the podcaster's curse.
There's no accountability in this world, so why would I ever say...
JoJo's World is accountable to no one. We are the fourth estate.
The hell is the fourth estate?
It's the theory that journalism and journalists are the fourth estate. They are separate from government, but exist to hold government to account. It's kind of some self-important bullshit.
Wait, what are the first two?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
The first two, okay.
Yeah, you got like estate number 1. It's me. I'm the first estate. Estate number 2, Liam, the co-host.
Nick, you were telling me about our Patreon supporters.
Our beautiful, noble,
Lustrous.
lustrous, humorous, flawless
Strong.
creatures.
Fast. Muscular flanks.
They've got
Beautiful flowing mane.
huge thighs that make you go, damn, they could jump over any
Strong
high
hunger
vault.
for oats.
I dare want to say good snouts on those ones as well.
But you don't want to look at their teeth if someone's giving you them for free.
No, they're gnashing at you and you're like, ooh, I better like go back a little bit. But they're not eating gruel. They're eating good JoJo's World content. And particularly, Christine Lucero is eating up some fine content.
Christine Lucero, thank you for your support.
I think it's Lucero. It might be Lucero. It's like that.
I simply can't advise.
Look, the point is, I give it a tick. Christine Lucero.
We fulfilled our self-imposed contractual obligations. Thank you, Christine Lucero.
Christine Lucero, actually, unironically, Christine Lucero does sound like a character we're going to run into in this show.
True, yeah.
Like,
She's gonna be like, oh, Yang, you're still doing the war, but you hate it so much. Can't you just come to my tiny orbiting moon satellite with me instead?
I'm afraid the war pulls me back, Christine.
For though I hate it, I acknowledge my responsibility to try and get through it with minimal loss of life.
But Yang, you don't have to go back. You could just stay here forever.
But then who will stop Admiral von Lowengram, that man, from nuking the moon?
Cut to Admiral von Lowengram looking at the stars.
Kirkis, nuke the moon.
But is the moon not just another star in the sky?
That's right, Kirkis. That's so wise and beautiful of you. Come here. And tell me what you think of this dress my sister's going to wear to the Imperial Ball tomorrow.
Fuck, it's too real. It's actually too real.
Thanks, Christine.
You're all right.
The New Adventures of Christine Lucero. Anyway, Nick.
Yes.
Legend of Galactic Heroes is a little show from the 1990s.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a banger.
Kind of a banger.
Kind of a banger. These two episodes in particular, kind of bangers.
Crossed the halfway point of season 1 this week.
We have emerged victorious upon the precipice of galactatiousness.
I'm begging you to just say something normal.
We are moving beyond the middle of the series.
That really stumped you, didn't it?
I was just like, what the fuck are normal words?
Nick, I looked up the voice actors of Yang Wenli and Admiral von Lohengram.
Yeah.
And I want to share some of their other credits with you.
Is this the English or the Japanese?
Japanese, the ones we were watching.
Ah, excellent.
So Kei Tomiyama voiced Yang Wenli and actually died the same year that they finished making this show.
Like as in the year they finished the anime, he died.
Yeah, of pancreatic cancer.
Ooh.
So sorry to that guy.
God damn.
But here are some of his roles in Japanese that you may recognize.
Hit me with them.
He played Chula the Tarantula in An American Tale, Fievel Goes West.
I remember that role.
He played Jake in The Rescuers Down Under.
That makes sense.
Rabbit in The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
That's not an anime at all.
He played Hassam in Final Fantasy, Legend of the Crystals.
Wait, what?
He played the Mad Hatter, Jervis Tetch in Batman the Animated Series.
Oh my god, okay.
He played Oddlaw in the Where's Wally cartoon, the sort of Waluigi Wally.
Wasn't he like black and white?
Black and yellow.
Black and yellow. He's the bumblebee to Wally's plumber.
What?
Like if Wally's red and
I
white,
don't care.
Okay.
He played Eiji Sontoko in Samurai Pizza Cats.
Nice.
He played Charles B. Barkin in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Okay.
Question?
Charles D. Barkin?
Yeah, the dog from All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Barkin. Is that
He's a dog.
What
What would you call a dog?
I don't know, like Ralph. Touche!
Yeah, I guess I can't respond to that.
Yeah.
He played Jeremy in The Secret of Nim.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, it's a well-regarded animated film. He played Detective Randolph Holmes in the 1980s Astro Boy cartoon, who looks like a pimp.
It's the triangular glasses that really sell it.
And I'll find one more good credit to take us out for this guy on.
That's Spider-Man.
He played Sparky in Speed Racer and Spider-Man in the Spider-Man 1967 cartoon, and finally Brains in Thunderbirds Are Go, one of those creepy little puppets.
Oh my god. He played the scientist guy.
In the Thunderbirds puppet show.
Oh shit.
You know, the creepy one?
Yeah.
Where they're all like, we've got to go to Spencer Island, and I'm moving my arms like a string puppet.
Yeah. But like, Thunderbirds was always the puppet
Thunderbirds
show.
was the shit when I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
You've got the one that goes to space. You've got the big aircraft carrier one.
Yep.
You've got the one that's a submarine.
You got the green one that's just a normal, like...
Yeah, that's the aircraft carrier one.
No, the aircraft carrier one is like the
Thunderbird
big...
2, big green.
No, but it's big fat one. I'm talking about Flatboy.
Oh, is that also green?
Yeah. I thought, wasn't that one green?
There's probably one that's like an underground digging machine or something.
Oh, almost definitely.
And they have these vehicles.
Yeah.
And what do they do?
Well, one goes to space.
Yep.
Another one flies through the sky.
To what end? What's their mission? Are they just protecting the world?
Liam, I'm literally explaining it right now. One goes to space. Another one flies through the sky. Another one, I think, like, went underground. Like, another one's a submarine. It, like, goes in the ocean.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just do it.
Liam, how are you not getting this? One goes to space.
Lohengram is voiced by Ryo Horikawa, who you would most know as Vegeta.
Ooh.
Now, this,
As in, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z Vegeta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This website that I'm on, behindthevoiceactors.com, lists all roles based on the title.
All rules based on the
So
title.
if there are multiple entries that are, say, Dragon Ball related,
oh god,
it's going to be listing them multiple times. So I'm just going to read in order some of his credits.
Okay.
Without listing the titles.
Okay. So no show name, just
Yeah.
Vegeta name. Okay.
Vegeta, Vegeto, Grade 8 Vegeta, Vegeta Young, Vegeta, Vegeta, Gogeta, Veku, Vegeta Young, Captain Falcon, Dunban, Vegeta, Xeno Vegeta, Vegeto, Xeno Vegeto, Vegeta, Vegeto, Gogeta, Vegeta, Vegeto, Gogeta, Heiji Hattori, Mictran, Gilbert Chris Von Muir, Vegeta, Vegeto, Gogeta, Great Ape Vegeta, Thane of Saronia, Koji Amami, Vegeta, Vegeto, Vegeta Young, Vegeta, Koji Amami, Vegeta, Vegeto, Gogeta, Great Ape Vegeta, Jared Gunn, Captain Falcon, Dunban, Vegeta, Vegeto, Vegeta,
Imagine
Vegeta.
just like
I'm only back to 2013 so far.
how the fuck does he have this much stuff?
How have there been this many Vegetas?
Oh my god.
Kyokuya, Natsu Tanimoto, Vegeta, Vegeta, Gogeta, Great Ape Vegeta. These are a lot of fighting games, if that wasn't something you could guess.
Okay. I was thinking these are movies where they have to be like, but we have to do the
And
next
there
one.
is that too.
But then like they go through the logical like, oh, well, we've done Super Saiyan level 1, now we have to go Super Saiyan level
They've
2.
got to do the fusion because it's been a while since they've done that.
Yeah.
Vegeta, Vegeto, Gogeta, Vegeta, Vegeto, Fellasmon
Fellasmon.
from Digimon Fusion,
Okay, sure.
Dunban, Vegeta, Vegeto, Gogeta, and so on.
So imagine if someone's like,
Captain Falcon.
imagine if someone were to come up to you and be all like, listen, we're looking for a new Vegeta actor, but this guy has so much experience playing these Vegeta characters, you know? Like, look how many times they've done it. And you're like, no. It's been one thing.
All these different listings of characters that are essentially Vegeta reminds me of that Ken Pender's Sonic comic panel where there's like 24 characters and they're all basically just Knuckles with different hats on. Sorry, I cut you off there.
No, but they're all different echidnas? Yeah. Does that make sense? How else are you going to
They
distinguish?
look exactly the same, but they have different hats and shit.
I mean, Liam, that's most people in our lives.
No, people depicted through art can look different. Case in point, everyone in Legend of Galactic Heroes is a human, but they all look distinct.
It's true.
They all look distinct, Nick.
All of them may have enormous foreheads.
There are not
but
6 identical silhouetted faces in the opening of this show.
now on that point,
What were you going to say, sorry?
I actually can't remember.
Okay, I'll cut that.
I figure Vegeta is always like, it's one role. Don't get me wrong. It's always Vegeta. It's just that Vegeta now has to be double dubbed with some other motherfucker because they fusion dance together. And now you got Vegeto.
I think it's just him doing the voice.
No, because they always like overdub twice.
Would they? Why would they do that?
Because
it's only one person.
No, because they fusion dance together.
Yeah.
And then the two voices combine. So now it's both people at the same time.
Well, that's not how I would do it.
But that's what I'm saying happens. Did you not watch when they like fusion dance
Man,
together?
I watched like the Boo Saga once when I was in primary
Liam.
school.
Liam. You gotta watch some Dragon Ball Z.
No, I don't.
Get out of 40K, get into Dragon Ball Z. Where you can be like, why are they just standing there yelling instead of punching each other? And I'll be like, Liam, it's not about punch. It's about...
It's about Monkey Punch, the creator of Lupin the Third. And Goku is also a monkey who punches.
I think technically he's not anymore, though.
I'm not doing this with you.
I'm tapping my nose at Liam, being like, if you know what I mean.
Nick,
Yes.
the 2 episodes of Legend of Galactic Heroes that we watched today,
Yeah.
episodes 13 and 14.
The dualities of the war.
Yeah, these are 2 episodes which, as per our usual format, we are alternating between a Imperial perspective and a Rebel perspective. And in both of the episodes, we're seeing this plan that Reinhardt puts into effect to basically starve the planets that the Alliance is coming to take, therefore stretching their supply lines even thinner, causing people in both armies to have to reckon between their duty to the military and their personal morals.
Oh, so operatic.
Yeah.
So grandiose and yet so personal, you know? So political and yet so intimate. Yeah. So what?
Yeah, so what?
Like, what's
So what, Yang?
What are we doing here in this whole like, oh, but war thing?
Go on.
I don't have
I
the
feel like you're
answer.
about to have a trenchant insight.
No, I don't have the answers to existential dread.
Oh,
Liam.
okay.
The answer to so what is not, well, obviously this.
The answer to so what is, yeah, whatever.
Oh, fine. But like,
We've discovered nihilism.
yay. But no, it's like a whole bunch of like civilian perspectives in this one. Of
Yeah,
being like,
so-
they're gonna what?
Basically, there's this plan that Reinhardt puts into effect, which, to provide a brief summary, is the Alliance military is coming into Imperial space and has positioned itself as liberators, ergo has self-imposed and an obligation with political pressure from back home to liberate and provide for the people of the planets they conquer. So Reinhardt's response to that is, well, just take all the
All the planets that you want.
take all the food from the planets that are in their direct path, thereby giving them the burden of supplying food to the civilian populations there, stretching their supply lines even thinner. And then once they reach breaking point, we will wipe them all out.
Yeah. When I heard that plan, I initially was like, wait, so they're just gonna take food from everyone? How the fuck does that work?
And then they do.
They literally take the food from everyone.
And so in each of these episodes, there is like one example planet that we focus on. But as a microcosm of the
narrative.
of the dilemmas and pressures facing the broader galactic war front.
And man, it's pretty fucked up.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Let's get on into it. Then I played the recap begin stinger here, which is not a thing that I do.
Recap begin.
We should get something like that.
Can we pay the guy who does the Halo announcer voice?
Get him on Cameo to say, JoJo's World, recap begins.
Yeah, exact. Something that's just like,
Multi-episode recap.
yeah, just what's one of the, like, there's Slayer.
Quadro kill.
Yeah. What if we had like, because you know how Unreal Tournament had like the unstoppable.
Yeah, sure.
God, like,
He's
and, like,
heating up. He's on fire. That's a basketball game from the NES, I think.
what if we did?
Oh, let's get ready to recap.
Ooh, that's a good one.
No,
Actually,
it's not. I was being incredibly ironic.
No, but what if?
That's a thing you can do. You can say a joke and then decide you don't like it halfway through, so you were being ironic.
Yeah. So when you started off this whole thing, you're like, "I've got this amazing idea. Don't worry." Halfway through, you're like, "Oh no, it's satire."
Yeah, parody.
Yeah. No, I don't actually like that though. Isn't that a tactic?
No, Nick, this is how you become mentally invincible.
I was about to say, isn't that a tactic of like the alt-right or something?
I simply could not begin to know what their tactics are.
It's something like
They are on the
fringes
opposite
of...
end of the eyes alone fortress that is my brain.
It's something like they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a funny joke," and then someone will be like, "That's actually really racist," and they'll be like, "Wow, I can't believe you can't call things that anymore. You know what? I thought that the left was bad, but now it's really bad. I'm gonna go to the alt-right now," or something like that. It's like a legit tactic that is used. We could do that, but with comedy and not alt-right.
So it's not political. It's just whether something's funny or not.
Everything's political. Everything's political. But now it's just us being like, no, it's a parody. We're not making humor. We're making a
anti-humor.
statement. Yeah.
When it's bad, it's anti-humor. When it's good, it's humor.
Yeah.
Either way, we win.
When it's bad, it's like, no, we were
We
mimicking.
get so many unsubscribes from this episode. Oh yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. Someone somewhere right now listening to this is going, Jesus, they really just aren't watching Gundam, are they? They're just going through this ridiculous 90s anime.
Listener, I'm looking you in the eye right now. We will watch Gundam Witch from Mercury, or whatever it's called.
We have to.
We have an ethical obligation.
It's like we've watched Utena. We watched that one bit from Sailor Moon from the guy that made Utena.
Yeah.
The next
And
logical
we
choice.
Well, we didn't watch it for the podcast, but I watched it and talked about it on the podcast. The drill anime.
The drill.
The drill mechs.
The drill mechs.
I drill the heavens.
Oh, that wasn't Utena guy, was it?
No, but it's mechs, so
Yeah.
I'm just coming at it from the other angle.
Yeah, okay. Alright, we'll get Gurren Lagann and be all like,
Yeah, that's the one.
yeah. And we'll be like, yeah.
And I watched The Big O, and we'll make Nick watch it. Or at least the last episode where it gets really weird.
Is that the Elvis one?
What are you talking about?
Wasn't there an anime that's like set in the future and Elvis pilots a big mech?
If there is, I don't know about it.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the big.
I gotcha. We watched that weird fucking firefighter mech movie.
No, but that wasn't Elvis. That was
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about other examples.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nick, you've got to be agile.
Oh God, don't. Oh. So unironically at work, we were told, so we have to be agile. And this was like a year and a half ago or something. We were told.
So I went and spent... You went and did 700 laps of the Canifus rooftop agility course.
Yeah, I literally was like, so I have to train to be speedy. And then I got back and they were like, no, we're just saying we have to be able to pivot. I'm like, then why didn't you say that? I haven't been studying ballet.
I'm so physically fit now.
I've been in a marathon. I need to move on my little pinky toe.
Look, maybe we should take this to the coalface. And then you're like, now I have to be a miner?
I'm 30-something years old.
Anyway, the first episode is When the Reign of Grief Comes. This is our Imperial-focused episode, but our boys Reinhardt and Kirkheis barely figure into it.
Yeah, I think they're in this for like 2 scenes.
We spend most of our time with a man named...
We didn't even see the fucking sister. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
We had 2 episodes without the sylph.
Commodore Ulrich Kessler goes back to what I assume is his home planet to enforce Reinhardt's give us your food plan.
Yep.
And encounters people from his past.
A depressing tale, to be sure.
And then the parallel episode is Liberation of the Frontier.
Mm-hmm. Where some guy definitely doesn't go back to his home planet, but he kind of finds not necessarily a new purpose, but some sweet hot lady that the local baron or mayor or something is like, please have my daughter. And he's like, you know what, it ain't so bad here, I guess. Liam is reading the synopsis and making the most scrunched face.
So I'm looking for the synopsis and I can't actually see the name of our episode protagonist in it.
Did he even have a name?
Yeah, he did. And I know I'll know it when I see it.
Was his name Andrew? I remember Teresa.
No, that was Andrew Fork, remember? That's Andrew.
Fucking Fork. Ugh. I really dislike Fork, for no other reason than the fact his name is Fork. Like, call yourself a fucking spoon, at least. You know? With a face like that.
It's so weird, he doesn't seem to be listed, unless it's a romanization thing where his name is...
completely different.
Vallimont. It was Franz Vallimont.
Wasn't it Valley Ford or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember thinking to myself, yeah, he's really going to munt those valleys up.
Yeah. Who's Hog something?
Hogcock.
Hogcock. Oh.
Bucock.
No, there was like Hog something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think this second episode might be the largest cast we've had to date.
How is that even possible? We didn't even have that many people.
I'll count the speaking roles if you'd like.
Yeah, right.
33 speaking roles.
No,
that's more than one a minute.
Yeah, that's a high budget anime. God damn.
So both of these episodes, Nick, are not explicitly depicted in the original novels.
What?
So, Apocrypha from the Jinaipedia for the first episode. Mm-hmm. The events of this episode are anime original. The original novels, Volume 1, Chapter 8, only mentioned about the effects of Reinhardt's Scorched Earth strategy and did not specify who carried out the strategy.
Right.
And similarly for the second episode, the scenes on Kapal, the Imperial frontier planet occupied by the Seventh Fleet, are anime original. The original novels only mentioned that the outbreak of riots in the occupied territories under the Seventh Fleet and did not elaborate on the events that led to the riots.
Wow.
So we're really expanding on the story here.
Yeah.
Probably for the better, I think.
Yeah, it is a bit more compelling that we see on the ground what's going on.
Yeah, instead of just,
being told.
I imagine probably just those conversations that Yang had towards the end of the episode, like, man, we've really got to withdraw because of all these riots going on.
Yeah. God damn.
We know the human cost of those riots. We know that an old mayor man got his mansion blown up by tanks.
Oh,
and then a bunch of people got shot for throwing rocks at soldiers.
Won't anyone think of Teresa?
Yeah.
Though she looked like an only child, so impossible to be a sylph.
Rancid vibes. Apologies to our only children listeners.
If only you were a sister. Then maybe in our... I was about to say in our fascist anime, you would have some kind of value to the empire. But, you know, maybe I'm just like...
I'm looking at Nick incredulously right now, listener. As I know you are too.
Yeah. Anyway, so the episode.
We will politely pretend that Nick said something that made sense. We'll nod along and we will start the recap.
90% of my life is people just nodding along when they're like, Nick, do you have any idea what the hell you just said? I'm like, no. But we're fine.
Kirk Ice.
Sweet, innocent Kirk Ice.
Something I really like about the first episode from the Imperial perspective is there's this ticking clock put on the planet that we focus on because the Alliance fleet is going to be there in like a day.
Yeah.
And that. So, but we don't see Yang or any of the other human faces of the Alliance in this episode. We just have cuts to their approaching warships periodically, like for commercial breaks and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's very much putting us in the Imperial shoes of this faceless army is coming. You need to get your mission done before they arrive, encounter your warships, and all hell breaks loose.
There's something very imposing about millions of ships just coming in. And we even know they're not all warships, but I don't think the Empire would be like, oh, they're not warships. They're fine.
They're fine.
They're just like, no, there are like a million fucking ships coming. So they're always like, in this episode at least, they're made out to be this ominous dark force that's coming in. Yeah. God, I've got the opening theme stuck in my head, but not the whole
Skies
thing.
of Love.
Yeah, just the first bit with the ladies like, and I'm like,
you can recite the lyrics, Nick. They're in English.
Are they?
Yeah.
I thought she was singing in Japanese.
Nope.
Oh no. Oh no, that's the ending song.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that definitely does not translate well.
Anyway, so, as we alluded to, Reinhardt calls his vice admirals before his big admiral chair.
And he's like, what up, nerds? I got a plan.
And yeah, so he's been given the task of dealing with this rebel fleet that's approaching Imperial space. And rather than just attacking them as soon as they leave the Eyes Alone corridor.
Because that would be crazy to take on that many ships. There's a much easier method. A much more subtle way of destroying them.
Yeah, we're going to lure them deep into Imperial territory. And then, when they have no hope of being able to escape, eliminate them all effortlessly. Kokai says, we won't risk a counterattack until the enemy's supply lines have been stretched to their limit. And we're going to make sure they reach that limit by repeatedly withdrawing from their approach and taking all of the food from those planets with us.
Now you might be thinking, that seems a bit mean.
He calls on Oberstein to explain. And Oberstein is, of course, cool, calm, calculating, cybernetic eyes.
He's got that piercing gaze.
He exposits. To gain agreement from their admirals, the Alliance is calling itself a liberation force, a fleet to defend the citizens. So they will take the responsibility of supplying the citizens of the occupying areas. And then the unnamed Vice Admiral with heterochromia says, in short, you're saying you expect the citizens will consume the enemy's supplies and food. That's right. So,
but the thing is, they can't just go there and be like, oh, we've already got supplies and food for, X many months from previous harvests. So Oberstein says the most important part of the plan.
Using the forces stationed near Eyes Alone, we will evacuate all the food and resources from the star systems near that area.
And all the, vice admirals look at him like, we're going to what?
And, relating this back to, as we discussed last episode, my recent foray into the lore of Warhammer 40,000.
I tried to protect you for so long.
No, it just reminds me of how there are planets in that world.
Yep.
Who, they're devoted entirely to, industrial refinery manufacturing sort of things.
Yep.
And so are entirely reliant on other planets devoted to agriculture to have any food at all.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't quite like that because we're mostly focusing on agricultural planets in the context of these episodes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every planet, it feels like would have its
It feels
own
like every
agriculture.
planet we're seeing in these two episodes is a Victorian farming community that happens to have spaceships.
Yeah. Or somewhere in Texas where they have those, what do you call them? The things with the little leather
overalls.
Thing. No, the thing with the leather thing, and then it has the little circular opal or something in the middle.
Bolo tie.
Yeah, like a bolo tie. Because the mayor in the second episode had one.
Okay.
And then Teresa had one, and I was like, we're in Texas.
Okay, Nick.
Or something, right?
Sure.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay. So then...
Slowly put the gun to the back of his head. That's right, yeah, bolo ties.
Yeah. I like party hat band.
Oh my god, think of the rabbits, bitch. Did I share that?
What?
So someone on Reddit recently, or I saw it shared via Blue Sky recently, was like, hey, what was that book everyone had to read in high school? I remember there was like a guy who was developmentally disabled or something like that, and he and another guy went on the run, maybe because the disabled guy had accidentally killed someone or something.
And
like
then at the end, he has to
so then
take him out
the other guy kills him to save him from the mob justice or something, and he says something like, "Think of the rabbits, bitch." So it's
obviously not quite what he says.
different, very tonally different.
Yeah.
Oh, what is the name of that book? It's actually escaping me now.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
It's some classic piece of like American literature. It's probably very seminal.
Point being, it's not think of the rabbits, bitch. It's think of the rabbits, because he's asking him to call back to the rabbit that he previously, accidentally suffocated or something like that, but had great affection for.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably add just like comma space bitch
Of mice and men.
Of mice and men. Yeah. You could probably add that to the end of any like great fictional quote. And the shift in tone would be...
It's Jesse Pinkman doing it.
Yeah, every time. Like, I am your father, bitch. I'm sure this has already been done on the internet 20 years ago.
Oh, sure.
But it's like, I'm your father, bitch. What's the... Maybe like one of your French girls, bitch.
Yeah.
Like...
Women and children first, bitch.
Some fucking 5-year-old kid. Women and children first, bitch. Like what?
So it's that 30 Rock bitch hunter thing with Will Ferrell.
Oh, exactly. Anyway, so Kirk Heiss in all of this.
Yeah, Kirk Heiss has reservations because he doesn't want to deliberately starve millions or billions of people.
For some reason.
And so I think we are potentially starting to see the first bit of ethical tension between Kirk Heiss and Reinhard. As maybe this is Oberstein weaseling in with his influence, or maybe he's just a convenient outlet for those impulses that Reinhardt considers necessary.
Yeah. Maybe Reinhardt's held onto these all along. Kirk Heiss has been blinded by his ambition.
And his affection for that beautiful sister.
If only he knew.
So, we are introduced to Commander Kessler, Commodore Ulrich Kessler, who we spend most of the rest of the episode with, other than a couple of cuts away to Kirk Heiss and Reinhardt staring at the stars on their balcony, talking about how beautiful the stars are. And
when one star... We'll get to the quote. Yeah. Kessler is like halfway between an everyman and a fascist.
I mean, he's a part of the Imperial military, so...
Yeah, there's no way you can't,
He looks a bit like me. If I was clean shaven, and then he's got 2 silver streaks above his ears.
Oh my god, he does look a lot like you.
And brown hair and a relatively unassuming...
Unassuming? He's got the look
of... I used to do my hair like that. I don't anymore.
Yeah, but he's got like a stern look to him. He looks unamused by the military tactics that he has to engage in. But he's there to do his job.
And basically, the order comes through and his bridge crew are like, no, we couldn't possibly do this. But Kessler is all, no. Reinhardt is a sensible commander. He wouldn't be doing this without good reason. So let's do it. I'll go back to this particular planet and take the responsibility there.
He's blinded by his loyalty to the state.
No.
He's blinded
by his
admiration
for Reinhardt. He would never rashly cause the citizens pain. Not like those other nobles. It's the unspoken context.
Yes.
So he divvies up the rest of the sector, sending Jenna to Morgan, Niedrich to Dank, Zondark to Hafen, Zodiac to Heidelin.
And I'll go here myself.
To Kleingelt.
Kleingelt.
These names. And we're introduced to Viscount, or Vicomte, you might say, Kleingelt.
So Kleingelt is an old man.
He's an old man. He's got a big beard, grey hair, moustache, sensibly combed hair.
So he is a Viscount, a Vicomte. I don't know where that fits in the pecking order.
I believe it is immediately below a count.
Where does a count fit in the pecking order of nobility?
Don't know.
Are they like low?
Lower than I think they might be low.
You know, I'm looking this up right
Lower
now.
than a duke, which is really high.
A duke's not that high, is it?
Yeah, duke is like the highest you can be without being a royalty.
Is it?
I think so.
I thought dukes were royalty, but they're like low royalty, aren't they? Hang on. Nobility hierarchy. Here we go. In descending order, the traditional nobility titles go Emperor, Empress, King, Queen, Grand Duke / Grand Duchess, Prince, Princess, Duke or Duchess, Marquis or Marchioness, Earl / Countess, Viscount / Vicomtesse, and Baron / Baroness.
Okay, so we don't know what a count is,
So a
but we have
count-
answered the question.
Yeah, but a count... Where does a count sit?
Transylvania. That's where.
Literally, you were like, I've got it.
Buzz in. Transylvania.
You're like slept on
Sesame Street.
This is like Price is Right, where it's like, and what do you think? Transylvania. I think the price is Transylvania.
Transylvania +1.
This isn't that game. No, Transylvania +10. Transylvania +10.
While we were setting up the recording, we were doing a bit about when people say, like, oh, I just did 100 push-ups. You say, oh, that's great, I just did 101.
They rank after a marquis, or in countries without marquis, a duke. Okay. Oh, wait, no, this is equivalent to a British earl.
Okay, that makes sense.
Where's an earl sit?
That was in the list you read out before. So, listeners, scrub back and listen to that.
Ah, okay.
I will play
Earl
the
Countess.
bite the dust sound effect here, and then replay that dialogue. No, I won't.
Instead,
It's not important.
Instead, you're just going to hear me being like, wait, no, I have to be right. I have to frantically Google a counter-argument made by some random author. It's not going to happen.
I was reflecting on my use of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure sound effects in the podcast previously, and I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned this to you, but at times where I've had to stop and cut in from the editing timeline,
You use the world,
I used the world,
Yeah.
and I think there was a time where we lost like a minute of audio for some reason, and I used King Crimson and then just came in and explained what happened.
Beautiful. Beautiful. A flawless usage of sound effects. Okay, so the
More reasons for that, but also that does take a lot more effort.
Oh god, yes. So the main nobility things here are there's a count who owns / has under him or her the viscounts. Oh, that makes sense because it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then below them is a baron, and that's the only one that I ever care about. So the viscount, the viscount, this guy. He is an old man, very proud. He loves his planet.
It looks like Zillard Quates from Barkano. If you haven't seen Barkano, you can't.
So he basically gets approached by, I think, his advisor.
His butler, it doesn't matter.
His baron, I don't know.
And he's like, the Baron's like, there's a fleet in orbit. And he's like, oh no, the rebel fleet is here. Oh, I've got to weigh up my duty to my people versus my family. You know, I should surrender so the people are safe. But
And this
my
is-
beautiful grandson, with his father deceased, maybe I need to respect. They will make a fool of him at Imperial Court if I do that.
And the advisor keeps trying to like butt in, but he keeps going on this monologue
Yeah.
of like, this Earth.
It's a little microcosm of the greater themes of the episode.
Yeah. And then eventually he's like, actually, it's not the Alliance. It's the Empire.
Reinforcements? Huzzah!
And
Huzzah!
everyone's like, yay, reinforcements! Except they're not because they're all like, farmers and peasants.
A little bit of exposition that we brushed over there is just that, the Vicomte, how do you say it?
The Viscount?
Viscount.
Viscount?
I'm so used to Vicomte Raoul de Charny from Phantom of the Opera.
Whoa! Okay. How do you spell his first name, though?
Raoul.
I don't know what I expected.
He's a French Viscount or Vicomte.
Viscount.
Vicomte.
Vicomte?
Yeah, en français. It doesn't matter.
You know what?
It's gonna be bad audio.
It's too long. All right.
Yeah.
I reckon it's pronounced Viscount.
Anyway, as I was going to say,
Yeah.
he exposits that his son, Orband, died in the war, leaving behind his son's wife, Via,
Via.
and their mutual son,
This is-
Carl, with a K.
This is the closest we're going to get to a sylph this episode, but she was an only child, if I remember right.
It never comes up.
Never comes up. Never mind. So the Empire arrives and everyone's like, oh,
Reinforcements, good, but maybe this will just turn our homeworld into a battlefield, so maybe bad. People
Little do
are
they know.
confused.
Little do they know what the horrors that are about to happen. So Via has her son Carl and is all like, all right, we're going to go have a
There's an
chat.
important man here, be sure you behave yourself.
Yeah, we're going to have a chat with the Viscount, get across what's going on. Let's find out what's happening. But before they can enter, they hear the Viscount loudly yelling at the Empire representative, Kessler,
Yep.
who's all like,
Kessler.
you want me to give all of our food to you. That's fucking insane.
That's fucked.
That's like,
That's fucked, mate.
that's absolutely out of this
That's not
world.
how we do things here on the planet that we live on. What's it called? Klemped?
Clamped. Hi, welcome to the planet of Clunge. Do you mean Kiegfeld or whatever it is?
The planet in the other episode is Kapal, and this one is...
We literally just said it as
We
well.
did, but all these names, they're so similar.
They're also
It's not Dank.
It's definitely not Dank. It's the name of this guy. Kiegfried or whatever it was. Kiegfeld? Viscount. The name of the planet is Viscount.
That's true. The name of the planet is Vicomte. Kleingeld.
Kleingeld. The name of the planet...
The Kleingeld.
This is such a... You know the
Which we're really trying with these names, folks.
you know the episode of
At least we stopped calling him Wang.
Oh yeah, true. You know that episode of Next Gen where Picard gets taken by like I think it's like the Cardassians or something.
The Kardashians.
You have no idea how late you are to this joke. I think he gets taken by Cardassians and then tortured.
Is this the There Are Four Lights
Yeah, There Are
thing?
Four
Okay,
Lights
I haven't
thing.
seen it, but
His
I
name
understand that
is
from
Kleingeld.
context clues.
His name is Kumquat. His name is Kleingeld. Oh.
And yeah, so he basically says, very well, I'll await your answer tomorrow morning, giving us a full episode of night tension.
Ooh. So I think Veer walks in and is all like, oh,
Yeah.
Kessler.
And then their son Carl follows him out because, as we are exposited to shortly after, he's being 2 years old, he can still barely remember his dead father, and seeing another soldier, it reminded of him, so he followed him in confusion.
And then he's all like, what can I do for you, little man?
Yeah, and then this child never says or does anything of importance.
Yep. He's just confused, and Veer's like, don't run off now, and we never see him again.
I mean, we see him a lot. He's just there as a token child to inspire our sympathy. I've got empathy.
That does kind of make sense.
And we learn that as they go on a lovely forest walk together, Via and Ulrich were childhood sweethearts.
Ah, sweet Kessler and...
Via.
Is that her full name?
Yep. Via Kleingeld, I guess.
No.
By marriage?
Well, now, yeah. So they were like childhood sweethearts. They grew up together.
They chased each other through the woods, laughing and having a great time.
And she was all like, if you catch me, I'll let you marry me. And
Oh, the Baroness
immediately,
is nearby.
and immediately Kessler was like, my mission has been set.
Yeah. Sprint, dust trail behind him. But then we cut ahead of, I guess, probably a few years, and he's taller, and he's in his evil military uniform.
And he's all like, I mean, listen, it's not my choice.
I have to go to the military now. I'm a man now.
And she's all like, no, you were meant to stay here with me. And he's all like, no, I have to serve my
You
country.
promised you would marry me. Sorry, now I'm married to the military.
The only thing I could catch was my appointed duty.
Will you ever be back? I don't know. Yeah. And then she marries Olga.
Orbend?
Yep,
Orbit?
Orbend, the dead husband.
The dead husband.
Has a beautiful son.
Carl
Becomes
Kleingeld.
daughter-in-law to the ruler of the planet, so a pretty sick deal.
But then now that he's back, she's getting...
Emotions and memories are awakening.
And Carl is confused because Kessler looks just like him. You know, in that uniform. Oh, they're so similar.
You and I.
Yeah.
She hates the war because it steals all the men she's loved.
First Kessler,
Orbend.
then Orbend, and
Now all of their food.
What will it take before the war ends?
Then we have a brief cutaway to some farmers where there's a young farming man and an old farming man, and one of them's like, oh, the Imperial fleet's here. The Rebel fleet is coming to liberate us, I hear. Liberation? Ha! Our lord's a good man. Maybe I don't want to be liberated. And anyway, they go back and forth, and they're like, but we can both agree we don't want our planet to be consumed by the fires of war.
Yeah. I think the young guy is just like, maybe it'll turn out shit. And the old guy's like, what are you talking about?
Other way around.
Yeah. The old man is cynical because he knows how bad things really are.
The bridge crew are like, the enemy fleet will be here in 16 hours. Sure, hope he's got an answer. And then we have a cutaway to Kirk Ice and Reinhard looking at the stars.
Now, I think this might...
Expositing tortured poetic metaphors.
This might be one time where Kirkheis and Siegfried don't align on the metaphor.
Okay, would you like me to share you a beautiful quote?
Please.
Kirkheis. On a beautiful starry night like this, somewhere, surely a small unnamed star is stealthily going out. Therefore, other stars will increase their radiance in that star's place.
And it's because of its sacrifice that it can shine brighter.
No, it's because of fate. And then they both nod and look into the sky.
Now, the reason I brought you in
Yeah. Tonight will probably be a long night, he says. And we have cutaways to the Viscount grappling with his moral duty to his people and to his country, and to Ulrich doing the same thing.
Yep, because so the Viscount is like, I can't just let them take all the food. Like, how can I trust the Alliance? That's ridiculous. But then
They'll just take it by force if I don't let them.
yeah, so
And then my people will suffer either way.
meanwhile, Ulrich Kessler is like, damn, I wish I could be with fucking Via right now.
He's lying in his bed that has built-in lights and clocks.
It's a very 90s
He's
shot
on top
as well.
of the covers. He's in his military uniform minus the jacket because he didn't think to bring any pajamas.
So he's wearing like a singlet. And Via is with Carl.
Yeah, Via is tucking in Carl and remembering the death of her husband. Sorry, not the death of her husband, but the last time she saw him before he went to the military and died. And he's like, ha ha, he's handsome and charismatic, and he's like, ha ha, I will definitely come back. And flashback ends, and she's like, liar, tears, tears, tears.
Yep, so Kessler turns off the light.
Yeah,
it's 1 a.m. He's
Can't
like,
sleep.
God, I wish I could be banging that beautiful Via right now.
Oh my god.
But I can't because I'm in the military.
Because of my duty, and also the fact that I'm taking all her food. The next morning, he goes back to the ship, gets a status report. The enemy fleet is 7 hours away. If they want to do the thing in time, they need to get started within 2 hours.
And he's all like, well, we haven't got a whole lot of time.
Yeah. Time to go back and get an answer one way or the other. And basically, he confronts the Viscount, who says, well, you're clearly in a hurry, so here's my answer. I'll give you all the food, but you have to take Via and Carl with you.
Deal.
Yeah, everything's coming up, Ulrich.
Literally, I think he's just like, well, that's fine. I can absolutely do that. Like, that's not a problem. And
Take
the
him
Viscount's
to
like,
Odin with you.
this is like, listen, I have $1 million. You need to take this from me. It's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take the million. It's like, no, but you have to understand.
You have to promise you'll do anything with it.
This is untracked money. No one will know where it came from, and there'll be no crime associated to it.
We're ascribing more selfish motive to Ulrich here than the show does, but it does feel a bit like you get to complete your mission, and you have to take your childhood love on the ship with you.
And he's all like, yeah, what? Okay.
And then, he's shocked and sad that the Viscount is like, I will stay behind and deal with the Alliance and with my people.
And he's all like, no, you have to come with us. You're part of the nobility. Like,
no,
you can't stay here.
My forefathers founded this land, and they lived here and died here, and my son died here, or didn't die here, but is buried here.
He's dead, no doubt. And so I should die here because this is my place.
Yes, and I'm an old man, and I'll die soon anyway.
Here, on this planet.
Yeah, at the hands of my own people.
Because they don't have any food anymore.
Yeah, they'll kill and eat me.
Oh no, they haven't got any food.
So they're both proud men making hard decisions, and it's all very noble.
I mean, to be fair, Kessler's not making many decisions right
enacting
now.
the will of fascism.
Yeah, he's just there to be like, I have news, and I guess I'll take, my childhood friend.
So then Ulrich Kessler goes to see Via, and she's like, no, I'll never leave, and you can't take my son either.
Come on, son, we're getting out of the rain.
It wasn't quite so
dramatic,
volatile, but it's very sort of
operatic.
Oh, Rhett, wherever shall I go now? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, he literally walks up to her and is like, we need to go. You should come with me.
No, I'll never go. Oh, look at my beautiful son playing with a spaceship in the water over there.
And he's like, aha!
Yeah. The Viscount meets with a delegation from the citizenry and instructs them and convinces them to obey the order. And we just get a quick montage of heaps of crates of food being loaded onto spaceships, and the fleet leaves. Everyone is pretty sad.
It's raining. No one's happy.
As the Imperial ships are leaving, we see on the other side of the planet the massed lights of the Imperial fleet arrive, so they've done it just in time.
Quite literally, it's like they break the clouds, rain ends, it's all shiny, and then they leave and they're like, max speed ahead.
Yeah.
They leave, and then it just like pans from one side of the planet to the other.
Ulrich resolutely utters a fond farewell from space to Via, and well, if this is all expanded anime material, potentially is never seen again.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless he does show up later in the book.
Yeah, and they worked him in as an earlier thing. We'll see.
Very weird.
The Alliance fleet lands, and all the farmers are waving their hats happily. Long live the Alliance fleet!
Yay, we're
and
so
it's
glad.
all going to go very well, I'm sure.
Actually, this is one of my favorite moments in the next episode, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But then we hard cut to Lowengram and Kirkheis once again.
It's as if the rain fell somewhere else, isn't it? The falling rain makes one's heart heavy, but when it's over, oh, everything seems so beautiful.
Kirkheis under his breath, just like your sister.
And that's the end of the first episode.
So then we start the second...
sorry, there is a quick montage of handing out food supplies to the people on that planet.
The beef patty.
The big red can of beef patty is just something I wanted to highlight.
And Via is in line to get her food, and she's looking very pensive and, filled with determination, I guess.
Yep.
And then next episode starts with the Alliance came down on all these planets and started handing out food.
Yeah. So there's a lot of montage shots of like Alliance soldiers like breaking bread with the locals and delivering supplies, and like a local woman is kissing an Alliance soldier on the cheek.
Oh, we're the
and
good
it's
guys.
all, wow, democracy has been brought to these oppressed people. And then next episode is all about the realities of actually delivering and maintaining those supply lines and the compromises it requires.
I don't know if compromise is the right word.
The ethical compromises.
No, I mean, it's way worse
The
than
ways
a
they
compromise.
compromise their ethics to fund the war effort.
Now we're talking. So the episode starts with just a brief narration, I want to say.
I'll quote for you.
Yeah.
The Alliance invaded Imperial territory. Not encountering any resistance, more than 200 star systems quickly fell into their hands. A proportion of those systems possessed inhabited planets. In all, 50 million citizens were left behind.
Oh.
And then we are introduced to this planet that we spend most of the episode on, which is introduced to us as like a barren wasteland with withered crops and little food.
And this is easily my highlight, FYI.
Okay.
Easily my highlight. This guy comes down.
So, go on.
This guy comes down from the sky in his ship, and everyone's sort of congregating around.
And he's like standing in front of his armed forces on a big box before the assembled people.
And he's like, "Hello, everyone. We're here to free you from the oppression and fascism that has plagued you for too long. We are here to liberate this planet and bring freedom and justice for all."
And then this one man from the assembled citizenry,
Holding his little straw hat, comes up like,
holding it in front of his waist. He looks like an old man with a big mustache. He says, "There's no food."
just literally like, "There's no food."
The fleet took everything and left. Before freedom and equality, could we have some bread and meat?
But the way it's presented is just like this meek old guy. He's just like,
There's no food.
there's no food. There's no food. Before that, can we just get food? And then it's taken aback so fast.
Of course.
Yeah, we got food. Yeah, it's like, great. Can we have that food? He's like, yes, let's get the food.
So back at presumably Eyes Alone, or maybe even on Alliance-based planet whose name escapes me. Heineken.
Yep, Heineken. Yep,
Heineken.
Planet Heineken. Home of freedom.
Ensign Valimont, our protagonist for the episode, who has a background in engineering and horticulture.
There you go.
Yeah, botany and engineering, they say.
Yeah.
Is assigned to the planet to bring it up to a sustainable level of agriculture.
Yeah. He knows how to get the water in the dirt and then keep it there.
He's like, and this is clearly something he is passionate about. He exposits later in the episode that his dream ever since being a child is to find a wife, have a child, then go to an abandoned planet or uninhabited planet and
just live on a farm.
Live the lonely life of a humble farmer.
Yeah, he wants
on
to...
a planet with no one else on it.
Yeah, he wants to get off the grid, stop being a soldier, not have to live under anyone's thumb. The only thumb he wants to live under is the green thumb of his wife, who should, I assume...
Wife's beautiful, huge green thumbs.
Oh no, such massive thumbs.
He wants to marry the
Crush.
Hitcher from the Mighty Boosh.
Who's the Hitcher?
A green person with a huge thumb and supernatural villainous powers.
That sounds about right. So the first thing they do is they start like drilling down.
Yeah, they
into
drill
the water,
for water supplies.
and everyone's there cheering and like, yeah, water.
And we have shots of like the withered crops starting to come back into life, and farming infrastructure being added to the barren wastes, and they're driving along. It's Valiant. It is a guy whose name I don't think we ever got, but he's basically the leader of the local community.
Yep.
And his daughter Teresa, as well as one other soldier whose name I also don't think we got.
Fantastic.
Yeah. He stops for a quick soil sample, and then it's all going so well, we'd like to invite you to a modest banquet tonight.
And Valiant's like, whoa, I don't know if I could come to a banquet.
With the food situation and everything, we shouldn't be throwing lavish feasts.
And he's like, don't be ridiculous. Even my daughter wants you there. Yeah. Tell him how you want him to be there.
Please come.
See?
That's literally how it went down. But it's like, we've got enough food squared away to have a little celebration for the monumentous new life that we're about to lead.
And Valiant's all like, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable. We're in a sort of ethical dilemma here, if I'm being real with you, because how can we feed the people if you're just hoarding the food? And then the guy at the front's like, come on! Come on!
And so they go. The other guy, the guy who's driving the Jeep, he's just like got women on either arm. He's having a great time.
Getting drunk, eating up.
Yep. There's food, there's wine. Valiant looks downcast and goes outside.
Because he doesn't like the hypocrisy.
He's a man of principles.
Mm. And the mayor baron
guy. The other guy the mayor baron guy, as you say.
Yeah.
He's like, we must thank the people in the Liberation Fleet somehow. And Valiant's like, well, we're not like the Imperial Fleet, I guess.
Mm.
We would never take all of your food. A grim prediction of things to come.
Yeah. So then Valiant goes outside, and this Baron guy's are like, oh, Teresa, follow him.
Teresa, follow him. And she follows him, and long story short, he explains his childhood dream of going to an isolated farming planet, and she's like, I also have the same dream. By the way, my father told me to never leave your side.
And he's just like, what? Huh?
But also, I don't really want to.
And he's all like, you what?
Oh. I think we've got a burgeoning relationship here.
Yeah, that's
I hope it doesn't conflict. My personal relationships don't begin to conflict with my orders.
I mean, I don't think
my very values.
Yeah, I don't think that tends to happen that much in, anime.
Storytelling.
Yeah. So he's all like, look, all I want to do is live on a nice lonely planet, and that, maybe one day I'll find a wife, and she's all like, maybe one day you'll find
me.
And then the Baron watches on from a window and is all like,
yes, seal our political alliance. Meanwhile, back at Isolone Fortress, requisitions requests are starting to come in from the war front.
All the planets that don't have food are asking for, wait for it, food.
So it's 90 days of rations of food for 50 million people, seeds for 200 species of edible plants, 40 artificial protein plants,
Yeah, those ones.
Some growable beefs.
I've been playing Oxygen Not Included.
60 hydroponics plants, and the ships to transport them. This is the minimum necessary to permanently save the citizens of the liberated zones from starvation. These numbers may become larger still in time. And Fork is there.
Fucking Fork.
Wait, no, sorry, this isn't Fork. This is just another guy.
Oh.
Quote, when you say food rations for 50 million people, the grain alone will be 5 billion tons. Even if we empty the warehouses of Isolone, there's no more than 700 million tons of grain.
Well, we got to get it, from somewhere.
So they've got a severe supply shortage.
Yeah, it's all going according to Lowengraham's plan.
Yeah. They call up Fleet Admiral Lazel Lobos, who is a heavy-set bald man.
Quite old.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, he looks very old.
And his staff officer. Fork, we hate him!
Oh, look at his eyes.
God, black shark's eyes.
He's got the eyes of a cat that wants to kill me, and is an arsehole.
The teeth of a mongoose.
The arms of a flatulent giraffe.
The tail of a scorpion, ethically speaking.
The neck of a merman. A skiller.
And apparently the neurological condition of a red panda, but we'll get to that in due time.
Fuck me. Oh,
I made it relevant again.
That's nice. Oh, I genuinely forgot that happened in this episode.
Basically,
It's just so dumb. Anyway, so yeah, they've got this massive supply issue, and Fork is just there in the back listening intently, plotting his, I don't know, stupid revenge against whoever the fuck wants to stop him from becoming a proper admiral.
if we request from the homeland the requisition of those supplies, they'll probably send it, but then there's the issue of securing the supply lines to get them there as well.
I mean, that's so many ships.
Yeah.
That's so many ships. And the supply lines are stretched so thin.
And it's a irresistible target for the enemy fleet to try and sever those supply lines. So I've got a quote here from Commodore Andrew Fork.
Fork.
The sectors as far as the farthest front lines are under our fleet's occupation. So there's no cause for worry. And he's the guy whose name I don't think we ever got, who is presenting this supply request, says, "Understood. I will send this exorbitant demand letter to Heinesen with your approval, Admiral Lobos." Hooray!
Yeah.
And then he leaves, and his internal monologue is, "Yang, I hope you come back alive. This war is too stupid to die in." The ruling council, which we saw last time, we've got Trunix. We've got
that chairman that we liked.
Yeah. We've got... Actually, I'll get their names for you. We've got Trunick. We've got Bittenfeld. We've got Cornelius Lutz. We've got Cornelia Windsor.
That bitch.
We've got Yual Rebelo.
Yual? Yual?
J-O-A with a tilde.
Wow.
O.
Joa.
Anyway, the assembled council are like, can we send these supplies? It seems like a real waste. Maybe we should withdraw our troops. No, if we withdraw our troops without any military victory, it'll be seen as a colossal waste of government resources.
Says what's-her-face.
Yeah. If our fleet can save them from starvation, it is inevitable that their hearts will refuse the imperial government and make them lean towards the alliance.
Now, what I love here is that she's presenting, like, we have to think about what would be ethical and what we do morally, because we need to be the good guys. And then it goes to the High Council chairman guy, and they're like, what do you think, chairman? And he goes, well, we wouldn't win the next election if, we didn't do it, so...
If we withdraw the troops now, the expedition will probably become a public laughingstock as a symbol of stupid government action and waste, and the council will lose the people's support and be defeated in the next election. We can't be having that.
Ergo, we're sending those damn ships.
Meanwhile, Yang is calling some of his allies, being like, hey man, we really got to withdraw these fleets. I'm going to talk to my admiral. Can you talk to your admiral? And he's like, yep, this is nuts out here. We do not have the resources to feed all these people.
So as he's talking with this guy, he's like, listen, I can't convince my admiral alone. You go talk to yours. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And the guy thinks for like a little while, and he's like, you know what, Yang? You are a tactical genius.
Yeah.
However, tragedy strikes for the big ships.
That's right, because Siegfried Kirkheis has been mobilized to destroy the supply fleet, and he does.
Oh my god. But the thing is...
He doesn't want to.
Yeah, so Kirkheis is like, I'll do it. And then
he goes to leave, and on his way out...
Lowengram is all like, Kirkheis, it's to win. And Kirkheis nods and then leaves. And then Oberstein's like, he doesn't seem to like it, does he?
Nope, but he'll do it, because he's my boy.
And guess what?
He does it.
He does it.
There's a narration. The transport fleet under Admiral Scott consisted of 500 10 million ton cargo ships and 26 defense ships. Then there is a brief, minimalistic space battle scene as Kirkheis's fleet destroys the transport fleet.
Absolutely effortlessly. Back on Yang's ship, what's her name? Is it Jessica?
It's Greenhill is her surname.
Yes.
She is...
Jennifer?
Frederica.
Yeah, I was pretty close.
Yeah, these are all the same name. Frederica Greenhill reports that the fleet's been completely destroyed. They couldn't save it in time. There's no supplies for these planets. Fork tells the local commanders to requisition those supplies by any means necessary, i.e. plunder the worlds that you have taken control of.
And Yang is like, it's too late.
This other guy, another leadership guy we didn't get the name of, is like, procure on the spot, is it? You're telling us to plunder? And Fork is like, I'm not telling you to do anything of the sort. How you get these supplies is up to you, little bitch.
What a fucking asshole. Like, the worst thing about Fork is that he
stays safe, and someone admonishes him for this later. He stays safely behind the front lines, away from any real danger or complex ethical dilemmas, and just tells people to do bullshit.
Yeah. He lives by his words, not by his actions.
Yeah,
and he gets away with it.
Someone says that to him later, and it basically kills him.
So back on the planet.
Yeah, and this gets into the real actual conflict of the episode.
So all the troops are like, hey, listen, we gotta go get that food.
Yeah.
And Valiant's like, we can't go steal their food.
These people need the food because the crops aren't nearly ready yet.
And they go, well, no, we know that they have the food.
We know they had a lavish banquet, and first they suspect Valiant of telling on their supplies, but it wasn't Valiant, it was the unnamed other guy at the banquet.
Oh my god, he betrayed them.
Yeah, so Valiant runs into their house and punches him out.
And he's like, you betrayed them.
You're betraying your duty to the military! And Valiant spends the rest of the episode being like, no, my duty, but my values, and also this beautiful woman.
Who I met yesterday.
Yeah.
Who wants to go make a farm village with me.
Wants to go make a Farmville with me.
You know what? That's pretty good, really, when you put it in perspective.
So he spends the rest of the episode trying to talk down both sides and being roundly rejected by both of them as the soldiers are increasingly hostilely taking the food. They're smashing pots and breaking down walls, being like, there's got to be food in here somewhere.
Literally, the first shot of them ransacking the mayor's house is smashing a vase.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, maybe check the walls. Like, leave the vase until last, yeah? You can just shake the vase and see if anything's in it.
And the mayor guy is like, but that's all of our food. And it's like, yeah, like we'll believe you. You've probably got plenty more hidden around here, dick.
Kick him to the ground.
Yeah. And there's like, shots of people trying to talk them down and getting smashed out of the way, and like a kid throws a rock.
They start taking chickens, roosters, pigs.
This poor hog gets hog-tied.
And I think Valiant is still just like, guys, we can't do this. It's
guys, be reasonable.
It's like, listen, these orders come from the top, and Lobos was very clear that if anyone stops us, shoot them on sight.
It's not our fault. We also enjoy doing it.
Listen, war makes fascists of us all. The power trip is real. All right. We were all part of the prison experiments. The what is it? The Stanford
prison experiment.
The Stanford prison experiments, and we're the guards. So, what do? Knowing full well how people treat themselves when in positions of power, we just
Let's go
do
nuts.
that. We do that. We go crazy.
The farmers assemble an angry mob. They've got pitchforks. They've got some,
crates.
Farmer rifles.
Yeah.
But not high-tech military hardware.
Liam, they're called rocks.
They have some guns.
They don't have guns.
Yeah, they do.
They have rocks. Oh, shotguns. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, they got
enough.
farming guns.
Yeah, farming guns. Big old BB guns.
Farmers' mums.
Farmers' mums?
Yeah,
is that like...
It's a Hot Fuzz thing. Who out in the country has guns? Farmers' mums. And then in the climax, a farmer's mum shoots someone.
Yeah.
Or shoots at someone.
That movie is literally 80% setup and then 20% callback.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's good. Hot take. Hot Fuzz, good.
What?
And the mayor is rallying the people like, for us, there is no empire or alliance. Those who give us food are our friends, and those who steal it are our enemies. And everyone says, yeah, and raises their arms. Valiant appeals to reason, and they all start beating him with sticks.
Literally, they're just like, hey, given how we're going to treat the rest of them, let's fuck this guy up first.
Yeah, and they do.
Beat him
And then
down.
Therese runs in and is like, no, can't you see he's had enough? And they're like, yeah, he's had enough. Let's go beat up some other guys.
Literally, this is the ultimate, no, can't you see? This isn't the time for it. Yeah, this isn't the time for it. Let's go, boys.
Jedi mind tricks them. And they find where the military are loading food crates into trucks. They have an exchange where they're like, give us our food back. And they're like, stand down. And then someone throws a rock. And then they start shooting their high-tech laser guns that can blow off a man's arm.
There's some good shots, actually, of,
Molotov cocktails going up.
when people get shot, they, grab at the
when
wound.
it really kicks off, there's, a quick shot of, a guy in cover in a farmhouse, staring at his hand over his bleeding chest wound in disbelief and then slumping to the ground.
He's, smiling. He's like, oh, I'm dying. And then, boof.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, no. All the food is getting destroyed.
The food is destroyed because someone throws a Molotov cocktail next to the truck and it catches fire. And I just had the mental image of, all the corn in there popping and...
And it's like, oh, they're actually helping us.
Yeah.
So naturally, the plan now for them is to kill them all.
Yeah. Back on Yang's ship, they're getting reports of riots breaking out all across space.
I think it was 3 of the fleets are just yeah, we're getting fucked up by riots.
Quote, a riot has broken out in the territory occupied by the 7th Fleet. The 3rd, 8th and 9th Fleets all report that riots have broken out. of them because the fleet stopped the common distribution of food and collected it from the farmers instead.
Yang shakes his head.
Perfectly played, Count Lowengram.
And he's all like, SMH.
Meanwhile, Adrian Rubinsky of the Fazan Dominion is like, yes, I think we can extend some loans to the Alliance. Ha 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 ha.
And then he discusses with his lover his long-term plot, I guess?
Beautiful, evil lover who has long red hair that covers one of her eyes and is holding 2 drinks for them.
A beautiful, picturesque model of beauty in the Fazan Empire.
The annotations that the subs we're watching tell us her name is Dominic Saint Pierre.
It's just so ridiculous.
That could be a localization thing, and I dare I suggest that her name could be Dominique.
Oh.
Dominique Saint Pierre.
Ah, Dominique.
Welcome to the Fazan Dominion. That's my
This is your
pan-European accent.
I thought that was Boss Nass. Welcome. No, wait, that's fucking what's his name? Not Sebulba, the
Watto.
Yeah, Watto. Hey, welcome. My name is Dominique Saint Pierre. Come on inside, huh? I get you a good fresh bit of wine.
And Isa is Adrian Rubinsky.
Misa gonna squeeze the Alliance for all the money they got.
Moi money.
And then Qui-Gon's there being like,
I'm just Qui-Gon Jinn.
war is no good. Stabbed in the back by Darth Maul. I'm Lowengram.
Yeah, this really was a Star War.
Yeah. So basically, the monologue is just like, now, here's my plan. I am going to extend money to the Alliance because their economy is going to be in shambles if we don't. But the thing is, the war's not going to be won through war.
So, can I interject?
Yes.
Basically, he recaps the situation and the morale impact it's had on the occupied worlds, and then he cuts to the thrust, which is, I must get the Empire and Alliance to injure each other more. Then, from a financial standpoint, Fazan will dominate both of them, impoverished by military expenditures. From here on, the war is not a battle of fleets. Finances will hold the key. It's great, isn't it?
And Dominique is all like,
Great.
man, you really are a lover, aren't you?
Ha 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 ha, yes, I sure am. Adrian Rubinsky. His name and aesthetic just gives him that voice to me. Does that make sense?
I think so. Like, he's got a big, like, mighty
He's
face.
larger than life.
Yeah.
He just cuts deals and
his
drinks booze and fucks his beautiful femme fatale lover.
All 5 seconds of his face just there, motionless, at the end of his little...
So, another fleet vice admiral.
Yeah, he's just like, listen, I need to talk to Lobos.
I don't know this guy's name. He may or may not have been in the crowd scene in the previous episode, but he's not a significant character today. But he's an old man with a moustache who is leading his own fleet, and he's trying to speak to Admiral Lobos, who is in charge of Isolone Fortress, but he's getting comblocked by... Go on.
Fork.
By Andrew Fork.
That little forker.
It's like, I want to speak to Lobos. Why do you want to speak to Lobos? I don't want to tell you. Well, then I can't act as your intermediary.
Like, literally, we have a process we're following. And he's like, you little shit. Fork, listen to me, all right? I need to talk to Lobos right fucking now.
Where all of us fleet commanders are seeking permission to withdraw because this is fucked. I want to speak to Lobos about that.
Fork is like, you can't talk to Lobos because you have to talk to me.
He gets in a burn on Yang, he says. Compared to Vice Admiral Yang, even you, Admiral Boocock, ring with bravery. But it's unexpected for you to advocate withdrawal without fighting. If it were me, I would never withdraw. And then he's like, okay, I actually like this exchange. I was going to just cut to the...
Yeah, you were just going to be like, all right, you little bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. But he says, oh, okay, let's swap places then. I'll go back to Isolone and you can come back to the front lines. And Fork is like, no, I'll never come to the front lines. And Boocock says...
It's totally unfeasible.
Yeah. It's you who asserts the impossible, and without even moving from a safe place. Are you insulting me? You only demonstrate your abilities by eloquence, not by actual results. Can you carry out the orders you issued yourself? I'd like to see you try it. And then Fork has a stroke.
Fork, literally on the spot, has a fucking seizure or something.
His eyes like roll up in his head and he falls back. Such was the strength of being yelled at by Boocock.
And then he's like, wait, what?
Some time passes, he's being loaded into a stretcher, and another guy exposits that His illness is temporary, brought on by conversion hysteria, resulting in nerve blindness.
What does this mean? Like, what are these words that they're saying?
Well, Nick, it's an illness where frustration causes abnormal excitement and the optic nerves are temporarily paralyzed.
But what the fuck?
He'll be able to see again in 15 minutes.
So weird.
But there is the possibility that seizures will occur many times after this. Commodore Fork will probably take R&R.
Ah, good.
Now, is this Fork being unceremoniously written out of the show because he's revealed a serious health defect that makes him unfit for duty?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like this might just be them going, well, he doesn't ever show up again.
He's not able to be in stressful situations, or he has a seizure and goes blind.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like he's suited for the military.
I mean, as long as he stays calm, he's fine. Like, he's gotten this far, right? Sure,
Safe on Eyes Alone Fortress.
But also, I feel like if he's gotten this high in the military already, he must have had friends somewhere to push him up. So maybe they'll just be like, no, he's a good kid, you know? He's got a good forearm.
It just feels so strange to have set him up in the last Alliance episode as like the big rival to Yang for
political maneuvering and
political
weaseling
supremacy
his way.
and the soul of the Alliance. And then to give him a debilitating medical condition the next episode.
I would love if it never comes up again. If they've just made this and they're like, yep, so that's how we got out of that one. You're like, yeah, but...
Lowengram all along, without his cybernetic eyes in, as a perfect disguise.
Interesting.
Tell me
Wait,
that
do you mean Overstein?
I do, sorry, Overstein.
I was going to say, Lowengram with cybernetic eyes would be unstoppable.
Yeah.
So
He'd be
clear.
too cool and clear.
Yeah.
So speaking to this new guy, Bucock is like, well, can I speak to Admiral Lobos now? And no. Admiral Lobos is in the middle of his afternoon nap. He is not to be disturbed for anything other than an enemy attack.
And this guy's like...
He's obviously pretty astounded by that.
It's like, he's... What? Huh?
Very well. And you can just, even with the relatively simplistic animation, you can just feel the contempt radiating off Bucock here. I will carry out my duties towards my men's lives as the frontline commander. When Admiral Lobos awakens, please tell him Admiral Bucock was worrying if he had pleasant dreams. Boop! Hangs up the video phone.
I think you mean drop, because he's dropping the mic. You know, he's like, yeah, fuck you. I'm here on the battlefield. You motherfuckers back at Eyes Alone Fortress ain't doing shit.
Yep. The war on Agriculture Planet continues to rage as the credits start.
Yeah, man, stroke.
Valimont jumps in front of a approaching tank that's running roughshod through his agricultural fields.
He's like, I'm not going to let you break any more of my fields.
Teresa jumps and pushes him out of the way like, no, we don't win by destroying the things we hate. We win by saving the things we love. And he looks down at the wheat and is like, man, let's go to an isolated planet and start a farm.
And then the Alliance destroys something that they hate.
Her father's home.
And Teresa's like, I can't leave here. This is my... Oh, wait, shit, man.
And they're watching the flames. Why? Why do terrible things happen, Franz? Tell me.
And he's all like,
Righteous comrades in the middle of a conflict. The people are usually made use of, and then usually they are thrown away.
Maybe it's because people don't like wheat.
And then, as a final coda for this episode...
Yeah. Oh, fuck this.
Reinhard is back in his command chamber with his vice admirals, and he orders them all to go attack the crippled Alliance. They all preemptively take a celebration toast of like sherry or something.
Because victory is assured.
Yeah.
So Lowengram's all like, boys, we can't lose.
They just needed a really extra flourish to finish the episode on, because they all in sync quaff their drinks and then throw their wine glasses to the floor. And we were just like, what?
I don't know if this is like some old military tradition from like Napoleonic times or something.
It's like at how in Greek weddings they smash plates in celebration.
Yeah, it's like, is this just something where they go, oh, we won, smash.
Have a servant clean that up.
Yeah.
There's broken glass on the floor here.
Like, I'm sure that at some point someone was like, yes, get the slave to do like my busy work. But like, now you can't use the glasses again.
Just because, yeah, well, so wasteful. So wasteful of the ruling class of this galaxy-spanning empire. Just because you mentioned Napoleonic stuff, there was an allusion drawn between Reinhardt's strategy
Ah, yes.
and how Napoleon defeated Russia in the Napoleonic Wars.
How did Napoleon defeat Russia in the Napoleonic
Starving
Wars?
him out, I guess.
Must have been.
I opened a webpage on it in preparation, but I feel like we're running long.
Yeah.
So,
For some reason, I always get Hannibal and Napoleon confused.
well, one of them...
Used elephants.
one of them's a serial killer who helps catch other serial killers.
Tell me, do you like to consume and eat people, Will? I don't think so. Well, what if I told you did?
What if you really tried, though?
Well, I would never try. Will, I want you to imagine.
Will, I want you to draw a clock for me.
Okay, draws clock.
Oh, Will.
What? It's got 12 hours and 2 hands. Will, what if the hands were that of a man's?
What if the hands were the hands of a man's and I sort of spit roasted them and added some delicious herbs?
Can you draw that? So I guess I could
I
draw
could,
that.
Dr. Lecter.
It starts drawing like a spit roast. It's like, tell me, why did you draw the hands over the pit?
Why did you draw my hands, Will?
Do you secretly have a desire, perhaps,
To catch these hands?
I,
Okay, Nick, what are
Yes.
our highlights and lowlights for this episode?
My highlight is very obviously, people who have been oppressed. We can free you from this despotic government. There's no food.
yeah.
Can you please
So
give
good,
us
so
some
good.
food before we have all this liberty and stuff? And he's like, yeah, I guess we can do that, sure.
My highlight, I'm not sure the exact moment where it ticked into working for me, but going into the first episode, I was really uncertain that, you know, the ethical dilemmas of these characters that we've never met before, I didn't necessarily think they were going to work for me, but at some point it just started resonating.
Well, I think because there's 2 parts to it. One is like the local like thematic mirroring of what's going on, but also it does feed quite literally into the bigger overarching strategy that Lowengram has. So
Yeah.
you can see it's like, oh, these are the local effects that they...
And in the same way that Lowengram is compromising what we would assume to be his own principles, having had an impoverished
Exactly,
upbringing,
exactly.
the people all the way down the train from the Viscount to Ulrich are making that same calculus.
And it's like the slow degradation of morality from war, you know? By the end of this, we're going to be in like some Animorphs level fucking suicide bombings that
So-
just make us go, oh...
I guess if I had to pick one moment that best encapsulated that in this episode, it would be the Viscount at night sitting up, staring into his own thoughts, being like, but can I do it? Can I make the ultimate sacrifice of my people for my son, or vice versa?
Wait, his son?
Grandson,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
And my low light is Fork's abrupt stroke.
Yeah, that was going to be my low light as
I mean,
well.
it was great. Like, just the way that yelling at him caused him to become a non-entity in the future of the show, potentially, was amazing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But it was a good couple of episodes.
I think we both were like, wait, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
What? Did this happen in the books? What? Like,
Phenomenal stuff.
just absolutely incredible, but also terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Nick,
Yes. Next time.
next time, I mean, evidently
The fight's going to kick
the
off.
Empire is going to attack those crippled supply lines and the Alliance fleet.
Who do you think's going to win? Because it's... Okay, so here's the thing. It seems as though Lowengram has them basically pinned to the wall,
Yeah.
right? It's like, oh, your supply lines are stretched thin. There's no food on these planets. You can't rely on backup because you broke all the supply lines. Like, you guys are fucked. However, Yang.
What I think is going to happen, and at first I thought maybe this would just be Bukok based on that scene today, but the more I think about it, I think the tension for the Alliance in the next couple of episodes is going to be the tension of orders versus what the people on the front line think they need to do. It's going to reach a breaking point, and Yang is going to be marshalling his command and the people he has influence with to withdraw from this obviously doomed offensive despite pressure from back home to keep fighting.
Yep.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if we see another fleet, like Bukok's, for instance, go rogue and just, like, desert.
Yeah. I reckon that's...
Because of the contempt for the ruling admiralty taking naps on
Yeah, so I reckon there's going to
military
be...
time and things like that.
Yeah, there's going to be something like... Yang knows retreat isn't an option because if they retreat, the Empire will do something like encircle them immediately because the supply lines just don't exist or something.
Okay.
So I reckon he'll be like, Bukok...
Oh, because Kirkis is there.
Yeah. So you remember there was that Empire guy who tried to run away, and it's like, no, you can't run No. It was the opposite. Oberstein ran away and the guy stayed.
Yeah.
And then
died.
he died. So I reckon the same might happen, but when the Alliance tries to retreat.
It's going to be the opposite of the scenario Fork outlined, where they said, well, if they try and attack our supply lines, we'll just pincer maneuver them.
Exactly.
The opposite of that will happen.
Yeah. So now
they'll be pinced.
Yeah. So now it's a question of Yang. How do you get unpinced from a crab's claw? And he'll be like, well, that's the beauty of it. You don't. You go deeper into the claw.
That's right. You go down in space.
Yeah. And then
See, the enemy is treating space like a two-dimensional plane, but with my giant historian brain, I know that space is 3D.
Lowengram is like, the hell is he doing?
The
hell is he doing? However, I suspect Lowengram won't be there, like, on the front lines.
Lowengram sending his guys.
Yeah, so what that means is Lowengram he'll either be hearing about what's going on over, like, a long course of time, or he'll be getting, like, radio comms or something. But he'll be back on the planet going, no, don't do that. Don't do that. What are you doing on my behalf?
Well, I think he's going to be dealing with pressure from the other three chiefs of the military to like do it in a certain way, which will parallel the conflict Yang is having with his own commanders.
Oh, yeah. That was the main thing I think is going to happen is literally Yang will say, we need to do this, and the orders that come through are not that. And then they won't be like retreat. It'll be like, okay.
Attack more.
Yeah, it'll be like, we need
win
to...
a decisive victory for the sake of the election.
No, but it'll be like, Yang will go, oh, we need to go in forward, and then they'll go, no, you need to go... It'll be exactly the same as, you need to go reinforce the fleet.
Oh, so it's going to be like, you're saying, you remember the Battle of Astarte?
Yeah, exactly.
When that one ship tried to turn around and was destroyed.
Exactly.
And the ones that survived formed that stupid ring maneuver.
Yeah, so it'll just be like, Yang is like, listen, we need to do this, and the higher-ups will go, no, you need to do this, and he'll be like, I'm telling you right now, if you do that...
I feel like you need to provide some examples, because you can't just say, do this and do
so,
this.
Like,
it's not clear broadcasting.
If it's like...
But also, we are running long, so I am tempted to just cut you off.
If it's like, I need to go in forward so that it breaks them into two, right? That split of Astarte stuff. And they go, no, you need to go around and reinforce with this fleet over here. And Yang will go, I'm telling you...
That's just the same conflict from the first episode, though.
Yeah, but it'll be the same idea as, he wants to do this, the other guys want him to reinforce.
Yeah, we've already done that, though.
But it'll be like, higher stakes now, because it'll be happening on the Empire side as well.
All right, we'll surely see all of that and more next time.
It'll just be a maelstrom.
But, absolutely. Until then, to be continued.